$6 and my right nut says we're not landing in Chicago.
Welcome to the Black Irish Podcast. Hey there, and welcome to an all-new episode of the Black Irish Podcast with myself, Brendan McCorkle, and Mike, my main man, Crawford. Hello, sir.
What up, Brendan? How you this week, man?
I'm doing all right, man. I have my little 8-year-old caller ID working for me night and day, which is nice. He's got, whenever the phone rings at the house, he's just like, Dad's from Sun Valley. I'm like, nope, don't answer. We don't answer. I'm not going dealing with that.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, back in the day,
your TV, right?
The kids were the caller ID, though. There was no screen. It was like the kids would answer the phone. Well, at least in my house, we started as caller ID, then we turned into like receptionists. They'll be home in an hour, and then like whatever time it was, we had a whiteboard. We'd write it down like 6 o'clock. Don't answer the phone. Like whoever was calling, chasing us down, whatever. And then sometimes we forget, and then you're like, oh, gosh. Wait, who are you? Where are you calling from? Oh, you're new. Never mind. I could give you from the start. Oh, yeah, they'll be back next Tuesday. They're out of town. There was a point in my house where we only made outgoing phone calls. It's like, don't answer the fucking phone, ever.
My house had 4 boys. It was all types of calls coming in and going. And my mom, I hope somebody told you that you got a call in my house, because you might not ever know about that call.
Oh,
Back
we also
in the day?
see. We also didn't even have call waiting though, so it was like I had 2 older
We didn't
sisters.
have call waiting was a thing. You had to wait for that to be developed. I'm that old.
Oh yeah, no. That was call waiting was brand new. You had to pay like $10 a month for the service to click over, and then you can, try and figure it out at a friend's house. You keep hanging up on people. Like, how long do you click it for? I don't know. Fuck. And by the way, click it. Those are the phones we were using. Click it over. You click it over. Fucks, it's not like swap.
Stop telling everybody how old we are, bro.
Why? It wasn't on a rotary phone, but it was definitely on a manual, push device type.
I still had a rotary at the crib. I didn't use the rotary, but I've seen a rotary. I've used the rotary at the house before.
I think my parents still have like an old rotary phone from my grandparents. Like they actually have a wind-up one that still works if you plug it in. It'll call an operator if you fucking wind it up and talk into the chingadera.
Oh yeah, you're true. I don't even know if I've seen a home phone. I don't remember last time I seen a house phone.
Oh, we got one. I got one right over there. It's unplugged right now, but yeah, I got one. Obviously, if
when I'm at your house, I sleep in that room and I didn't even see it. That's great.
But because if somebody's staying over, we unplug the phone in that room. Anything for you, Mike. I will give you an update, though. You asked what happened. So there's a Banana-Rama Camshaft situation at my house today at like 2 in the morning. Banana-Rama Camshaft. I don't know shit about cars, Mike. I don't know if you know this about me. One of my best friends growing up.
I don't know shit about cars either.
He was all into cars. That's all he did. I should know more about it, but I was just like, we're already buddies. I don't give a shit about that thing you're into. You don't like sports. So when we're not together, we'll do those things. And when we are together, we'll do other things. That's how we roll. But, so my car got violated. Somebody stole the catalytic converter off it at like 2 in the morning.
Oh, they got you?
They got me. Yeah. On the Prius. I got double dipped. So I got my tailgate stolen, however many months ago in like March or some shit. April.
Hey, so that's a thing down here right now. Like it's on the news and everything.
That's been a thing out here for a year. Yeah, tailgates.
I'm gonna tell you now, if you watch my show and you know where I live at, do not get caught stealing my Cadillac converter because I am gonna shoot your ass. I'm telling you now.
Yeah, well, here's the thing: is obviously the cops aren't gonna do shit about it. Like they just can't and won't. So, like I took the pictures, file a police report just so that it gets a little more traffic.
They can do because it ain't like they can find it at this point.
Well, here's the other
thing. I guess it's like got some type of precious metal in it.
No, it's scrap metal. It's easy scrap metal because what it is. So I mean, these guys know what they're doing. They're not fucking world-class thieves. They're just slightly decent mechanics from home that are like, hey, let's go scrap these things out and get some fucking hooch money or whatever. You know, because you could get a couple $100 for that scrap of metal. It's nice and heavy, but it's not that heavy where two people can carry it. So they just, you know, they chalk the tires so they don't get run over, unfortunately. They unscrew like 6 bolts, not even 4 bolts. And then
how the hell did you sleep through that?
So here's the deal, is the drill, it's not a loud drill, but they do have to saw off at the pipes because basically I think what it is when it takes the toxic fumes, they come into this converter and it, you know, filters it out somewhat, then that pipes into the muffler for sound, and then it shoots out into the ether and poisons us all.
According to the news, there's some type of precious metal in the catalyte converter, according to the news here.
That's probably what it is. I don't fucking know. All I know is that it's been a thing. Tailgates were the first thing. Toyota tailgates were going like crazy because that was easy scrap metal. It's 2 screws, you cut 2 cords, you're out of there in 15 seconds. Catalytic converter's about a minute. And it's you unscrew everything with a drill that's not, you know, that's as loud as it gets. So
yeah, but your car's like right outside.
True. So what happened?
But your room isn't.
What had happened was, my wife heard something. It was when they started the saw, which is the last part of the transaction for them. Is you unscrew everything, get it ready, and then you saw two parts of it where it's connected, and then that thing drops and you take off. So they were already at the tail end of their 1-minute excursion. So she heard something, opens a window, yells. I get up, grab a baseball bat. I'm like, what is happening? She's like, somebody is at the Prius. I'm like, wait, what? Like, she woke me up. I'm like, what? She's like, somebody is taking something like at the Prius. So I grab my bat, fucking run outside in my boxers, and they obviously got spooked from when she yelled, but they were pretty much done. So I ran out and said something, you know, like, come back if you want some, motherfucker. Like, whatever the stupid shit that I said. Like, I don't know, being a fucking idiot. Like, standing in the middle of the street as the car's going away, like, look at the taillights, look at this, look at, like, trying to gauge what it is. So I'm like, whatever, go back inside. I'm like, obviously these idiots aren't coming back. They got what they needed. They're not proper thieves. You know, because trust me, somebody that has a gun that's willing to use it does not fucking run away like that. They go, hey.
No. They're probably not those type of.
They are not.
Thieves. They're just. They're stealing scrap metal.
They fucking did their thing. They left some shit. I took some pictures. They dropped a lighter. So I hope I'm gonna keep that lighter in my garage, and I hope to someday return it. And that's all I really hope to do. I hope to one day meet this person and give them their lighter back. But I am saving it, and I will be looking for the car. That's all I'm saying.
Yo, isn't it like weird? Like, wow.
Because here's the thing. This is the second time I've been violated with my vehicles at my home and people coming close to my home. The third time a message will be sent. So unfortunately, if there's somebody that comes to my house that hasn't been here before, they're going to catch the wrath that comes with everything. So that all these people who talk and they go, hey man, I hit up that house a few months ago, got a tailgate. You can go get this. They'll know the next time this is not a house that you come back to. So yeah, I'm a very vindictive motherfucker. That's why people probably try you. It's because you're on the corner house and you can just skirt off real quick. I sure shit hope they try one more time. That's all I'm saying.
Yo, they better not try on the wrong weekend because that's my room right there. And listen, people, it's not going to end that. I promise you, it's not going to end how you think it's going to end. And I'm going to stop there because I don't want to say too much. But yeah, and I don't sleep well at night, so I'm here everything.
I usually don't, but we stayed up late last night. And here's the other thing. We had, my older son had a sleepover. So we had somebody else's kid at our house too. So I'm like, it's probably a good thing. Cause I told my wife, I was like, if we weren't hosting tonight, I'd be in your car driving around right now. Like driving around trying to find these people in the neighborhood. And she's like, I know, it's probably a very good thing.
Glad you didn't go that far, man. But
I wasn't going to go do anything. If I went out this morning at that time, I was going to be in a different vehicle. I was going to be driving around the neighborhood looking for them, spotting them, call the cops and go, hey, I'm following this car around that's stealing shit. And if they're not going to do anything, when they pop out at the next one, pop their fucking tires and then go, hey, you got this car full of stolen shit that can't go anywhere. It's right here. And if the people want to come back and get it, I'll be there waiting for him, saying, "Hello, the cops are on their way." Now you can see me. Don't come back to my house, motherfucker. You know who I am.
Yeah, that's
The
bullshit.
proper way. Let the police handle it. But it's also one of those, there are people selling drugs on our block. Not on our block, but like fairly down the street-ish. But they got a fairly tight regime, so it's like, cops ain't gonna do shit.
Yeah, but in selling drugs, you don't want that around your kids, and that's one thing I respect that. But when someone like because it's not just your car, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, technically speaking, your safety's in danger at that
Correct.
point, man. I don't like the idea of that shit.
Yeah, me neither. Because if I did choose to engage with them or something like that and it escalated, then other people are in danger. And that's the kind of shit that's not cool. So,
Or if you get in your car the next morning because you didn't know it was stolen, you hit the 405 and can't go over 40 with kids in the car, and somebody's speeding up and doesn't understand that you can't go faster and hit your. Like, there's a lot of that. Like, I'm talking not just on some get them. Like, there's a lot of shit that can happen.
Fuck yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When stealing people's cars, especially they don't know. That's like ripping somebody's brakes and not like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you playing with people's lives, bro.
There is no mistaking that this is gone, because it literally, like, I turned it on to move it to see if it would move, because now we got to do something with it. I spoke this piece of shit car thing out into the ether last podcast, and then now it's like, oh yeah, you got to talk shit? Okay, you can't have it anymore then. But I don't know, dude. It's just one of those things where, like, I moved it 5 feet. It sounded like a dragster, and it felt like the bottom was gonna fall out because it's a Prius. So they cut out the middle part, so it's like it feels like it's gonna unfold at the middle.
I've driven a car that didn't have a catalytic converter before. Don't worry, it sounds like shit. It doesn't pick up any speed.
Yeah,
and it just feels like you're rolling along, bro. Don't worry. I was fucking 17, 18 driving that shit. That shit was trash, bro. I'm gonna tell you, the worst I did. What was it? It was like a Suzuki.
Ooh.
My mom had like a Burgundy Suzuki.
Wait, was it a tracker? Was it the one you could drive on the sidewalk?
No. It was a car, but because of the model it was or some shit. Like, we were looking for one for like a couple weeks, just trying to find one, because it was like a random ass Suzuki, like a little like box Suzuki. Oh, bro, it was the wildest. But we used it to go to work, so still, I mean, we drove it. That shit was trash.
By the way, you said cars like it didn't happen. There was a Suzuki, I think, Tracker, and there was a version of a Kia. And they would you could drive them on the sidewalks. They barely fit on the sidewalks. So we had,
never heard of that.
We had some friends that used to do that.
That's worse trash. That's trash. You might as well drive your car with no catalytic converter. You're going to go the same speed anyway on the sidewalk.
It was more for showing off purposes, I think. I don't know. Whatever. Well, hey, don't wear a seatbelt. How about that?
Why wouldn't you wear a seatbelt?
It wrinkles your clothes.
While we're on shit about your clothes, it saves lives, and I used to be a no seatbelt guy.
See, that's what I was gonna ask. When did you start wearing a seatbelt? When the law went into effect?
No.
Oof. You were living on the edge?
I was forced. I was consistently told to wear it by a certain individual, and it just stuck with me. I eventually started wearing it on a regular basis. Shout out to that person.
Good for you. I started doing it only when the seatbelt law came into effect, because I was always in a truck or a car. So I was driving all over the place all the time, and I was usually driving with a suspended license, like, for almost a decade. So I tried to follow all the laws that I could.
Never driving with a suspended license. I just don't play with the law that way as an African American man.
No, you can't.
So there's that. And seatbelt law is a secondary offense here. So technically speaking, you don't have to wear a seatbelt, but if they pull you up for something else, it's just an extra ticket. But when you go to DC, it's a click it or ticket, so they can. You know what I'm saying? So, but the whole crazy thing is, my homeboys got their first weed charge because of the seatbelt.
No.
So they were driving, and they just had one and got some weed, and was going, but the police saw them without their seatbelts on. So he knew he couldn't pull them for the seatbelts, so he followed them until they did something else that he could pull them.
Oh, no.
To give him the seatbelt ticket, and he gave him the seatbelt ticket, what he pulled him over for, and found the weed. What a suck-ass day.
Oh, so did he
And what a
confiscate the
punk-ass
weed?
cop for following people to give him a seatbelt ticket.
Yeah,
you
that's,
sucker.
well, listen, he obviously was not just trying to give a seatbelt ticket. So, fucking, there's that.
No, he told him straight up. He was like, I didn't even expect no weed. Like, I literally was following y'all because I saw y'all didn't have on y'all seatbelts, and I know that's a ticket. And, you know what I'm saying? The weed shit, he talked to him through the whole process of giving this. He said, those because they told me the story and everything. I'm like, bro, that's wild.
So, did he just take the weed or what?
Oh no, they had to go through the whole process. He got lucky. He had a good day. He was a punk ass cop. He still was a cop, brother. He told him all the bullshit that he did to him, but he still did the bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah, that's unfortunate.
That didn't stop him from still doing the bullshit to them. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, on that note, we'll just touch on this real quick because I don't like it to be glossed over. Just to throw it out there, not even putting an opinion on it. Just putting it out there. There's a 77-year-old man from Arizona that got convicted, guilty, for sending Nancy Pelosi threatening voicemails, saying he was going to kill her. 77-year-old man facing conviction for some voicemails. That's it. Just saying that's what some people are getting charged
The
for.
conviction shouldn't even be for voicemail. It should be for being a fucking idiot. You can't threaten Nancy Pelosi, bro. Like, I don't care who you, I don't care if you're 77 years old, you cannot get a, what do you think was going to happen when they heard the voicemail? They weren't going to come find you and take your threats seriously because you're 77? Bruh, that's not, they just locked up Bill Cosby for doing stuff to girls 20 years ago. Believe me, if you're threatening somebody, I don't care how old you are, especially Nancy Pelosi, bro. Dude,
Yeah, but if he's a funny 77-year-old like Bill Cosby, they'll let him go.
Hey. They let Bill Cosby go because Bill Cosby got a lot of money. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Listen, Bill Cosby he shouldn't be out here walking scot-free, but they found a way in the law to make it happen, so they did.
Yep.
But he ain't just go out here, like, that's like telling the world about it. Like, this dude is threatening Nancy Pelosi on recording. Ain't like he saw her in the streets and just said it. Like, he literally let someone record him saying it. You definitely deserve to go to jail just for being dumb. You should just go to jail for being dumb. That's it. They shouldn't give you a lot of time, though. They shouldn't, like, try to lock you up like you really was going to hurt Nancy Pelosi, because we know you probably weren't. Actually, I don't know. Some 77-year-old dudes can be, like, war vets and still have the ability to be out here killing stuff. So I'm not going to put that on you, but, like,
I'm interested to see what the sentence
angry.
is. So he gets sentenced up in, like, January 25th or something, the end of January. I'm interested to see what the sentence is.
But how did Nancy Pelosi make you that angry?
It's a 77-year-old, just delusional person that lives in Arizona. Like, just a...
Yeah, but like Nancy Pelosi, what? Because she fought against everything Trump wanted to do?
Dude, I wonder, the age is about right. I wonder if it's something where, like, he cheated on her back in the day, or she cheated on him back in the day, and he's like, you know what? Bitch, I never got over this. I'm gonna kill you. You broke my heart. What if they just didn't play that part of the voicemail? How could you suck 12 dicks?
Like a cool girl to me. I mean, she's not perfect by any means, but she seems cool.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, on a lighter note, we had, I did Vegas 2.0.
Huh?
I did Vegas 2.0 the other day, recently.
Yes.
When did I do that? I don't know.
Wasn't it last weekend? I don't know.
Yeah, it was last Thursday. Last Thursday. Hey, we made our flight. Went with my wife. We made our flight. It was amazing. So that was great. That was kicking off the trip way better than the last one. Way better than the last one. So no issues with the plane. We were going to my cousin's wedding.
Should have drove again just for the hell of it, though.
No, because it didn't work out, because we were going to my cousin's wedding, which was on a Thursday at 1 o'clock. So that was kind of like, we can work this out. She can work at, out there for a while, Thursday afternoon if she needs to, and Friday before we leave, blah, blah, blah. So we did that. So we went in, we had to fly in, drop our bags at the hotel on the way to the wedding. which we had just an incredibly boober of an Uber. Like, this lady, I don't know what she was doing, but she was driving like 55 on the freeway in Vegas, which is like, what the fuck are you doing, lady? And then she was turning into the wrong spots. Like, we thought she was going to leave us when we were dropping the bags. Like, we should have been at the destination at the wedding like 15 minutes before we were. Like, she turned a half-hour ride into a 45-minute drive. It was, and we were like cutting it close because we didn't land, like, our plane was delayed. We didn't land till like 12:15. We're supposed to be there at
I don't
1.
understand people who do that, who do those services. Like, your job is to get to the money is getting to the next ride, bro. Like, there's no money being made when you're taking as long as you can to drive to do one trip.
Here's the other thing. Like, I can appreciate that, you know, it's their vehicle. They're not going to go over the speed limit, but at least go the speed limit. That's your job.
I'm going at least 10 over the speed limit wherever I drive. Sorry, police.
Yeah, no. If you're expected to. If you are unless you're in a luxury vehicle where it's a cruise time, and even then, if you're on a party bus, you still get the fuck to where you're going. But yeah, no. I'm saying if you're a passenger in like a luxury car, like a limo type or one of those cruising vehicles, okay. But other than that, I don't care if it's an Uber fucking Platinum. Which, whatever. Like, you still are going as fast as you can. Get us to where we need to go. Exactly. You are not the party. You are not the fun. We're going to the fun or the work or the whatever it is. Like,
ain't nothing else to
dude,
it
if I was going to
baby.
work and that chick was my Uber driver, I'd be furious. I'd be like, you're gonna make me late to work, lady. What the fuck is wrong with you? I don't know.
No, I tell people that when I ride in Uber, if you ain't going fast enough, I'll kindly say like, hey, you ain't even doing the speed limit. Come on, man. Let's go. I got places to be. This is not no fun time. I got you because I didn't want to get on the bus because that takes too long, which means I need you to get me there faster than the bus or the train would have, bro.
Yeah.
Let's not do it.
Oh, man. So that was us getting dropped off there, which I got so frustrated with the Uber driver that I was like, yeah, this is our stop right here. And it was like some plantation-y thing with like ducks and geese and all this weird shit, and we had to like walk to the actual venue, which was not the right place. I was like, we're close enough, get us the fuck out of here. We can walk faster and you can drive us that extra 200 yards. Get out of here.
Yo,
and we did. But
that's
hey,
a hell of a wedding with ducks and geese and shit.
No, that wasn't the actual wedding. The actual wedding was separate. We just happened to get dropped off at the wrong place and then walked to the right place because I was like, just get me out. Just get me out. But so sticking on drivers, my Lyft driver, when I was going by myself to go meet up with my wife at work, like, he had the smoothest hands. The back of his hands were like super smooth, and he seemed to be like in his late 20s, early 30s. Are your hands smooth?
Like, how do you know his hands are smooth? Do they look smooth or did y'all like touch?
No. Like, he's holding his hand on the wheel at like 1 o'clock, right hand on the wheel at 1 o'clock. And it's distracting how smooth and like shiny his hand is. Like, you can't see any veins, any bones, any weirdness, no nothing. It's just straight smooth. No hair, no nothing. What is that?
Weird.
You don't think that's weird?
No, I definitely think it's weird. I definitely think it's weird that you even noticed that. What were you doing
listen, it's a 30-minute drive. I got nothing to look at in Vegas on the freeway. I happened to notice that there was something shiny on this guy's hand. Nope, it's just his hand. And then I was like, what the fuck? Has this person like just started driving Lyft within the past 6 months and it's their first job, but they're 30? Like, what have you done with your life? Live a little. What the hell? Like, I don't understand how you go through life.
I don't like no veins popping out. I got hair, but ain't no like veins popping out on the back of my hand. Like,
but I mean, like, okay, like you don't have
because you've done manly work with your life, bro.
Whatever. Yeah, I know. Oh, listen, my hands are barely holding together, so mine aren't a good frame of reference.
I respect you for being manly man,
but I'm saying like your hands. You don't seem to have like shiny, smooth, perfect, never touched baby hands. Like, it looked like that. No. You know, a baby before they get knuckles and stuff? It looked like that. It looked like a perfect little puff of skin that was taken care of by his mother with calf's milk rubbed every night. Like, it was just fucking weird. I don't know why I got caught up on it so much.
Well, they said he had baby hands.
So back to this wedding. Funny. It was a nice small wedding. Whoever can make it was there. And I have to ask you something. How do you feel about short socks with dress shoes?
Short socks, like ankle socks?
Like ankle socks with dress shoes.
I would have just bought really nice dress shoes and went no sock.
Well, that's disgusting too. But short socks and dress shoes are... Stop doing it. Stop it. You look silly.
I would have bought like some Louis Vuittons and just went no socks.
See, I can't go no socks. No socks is so... Dude, you're going to ruin those shoes with one use. You're at a wedding, cutting up some rugs, sweating those stanky little toes in there. Come on, bro.
Eric, that's where we differ. I don't cut no rugs.
Okay, even if not. You're in Vegas. Your feet are going to be sweating.
That's cool. I'm gonna clean them when I leave. That's
who does that? You're gonna clean them out? What do you clean them out with? This is bullshit. I know you're lying to me. $1,000 shoes.
You better do something. You ain't gonna ruin them after one wear.
Yeah, but they're gonna stink. Just wear regular socks. Why can't you just wear regular socks?
Because it don't look right. It don't give that.
It 100% does.
Nah, man, you don't get that when you wear the pants that are just a little bit too short, so your ankle's showing. You gotta have the no socks.
Yeah, but that's my no.
Gucci loafers or the red bottoms.
You can't wear those.
Man, it's crispy.
No, that's gross. Don't wear that at all. Why?
It's so crispy, man. I know we're culturally
It's not
different,
crispy.
So it's okay.
It's burnt. That's so what crispy. It is.
It's so crispy.
Fuck that, dude. No.
Crispy.
No. See, I was just wearing my straight, regular old tuck-in collared shirt, nice and blue pants, brown shoes, brown socks.
That's crispy to you.
No, that's trig to me. You use crispy, I use trig. How about that? And whoever doesn't know what we're talking about can fucking look it up.
Crispy.
So I have to say, it was kind of weird, but it was also kind of awesome. They had a good old-fashioned honeymoon get-out. They did their little dances. They had their meal. They did their little dances. And they're like, peace out. We're going to Hawaii. We're like, oh, shit, when? They're like, 2 hours. We're going right now. We're like, oh, yeah. Because that's how it used to be. It used to be you get married and then drive away off to your honeymoon, whether you went across the country or you went to a destination. It was like you leave all your people behind and you go on your honeymoon. That's what they did. They're like, all right, guys, thanks for coming. We're out of here.
Yo, that is love right there.
Dude, it was awesome.
That's a wedding.
Yeah, they're like, fuck you guys. We want to be together. That's why we're here. Like, you guys are celebrating with us, but we're out.
We're out of here.
Yeah. I thought it was pretty cool. It was like, at first it was kind of like, wait a second. I was like, oh no, that's how it used to be. That was traditional. Like, we've changed tradition over time.
A whole bunch of shit didn't change over time, Brittany. A whole bunch of shit didn't change over time.
I know. But I will, so we did, so that's not even, so that was just till the afternoon. So then, that was like 4 o'clock. So we're done with the wedding at 4. We still have to go back to the room and check in. So we go back, I do my $20 check-in trick, get upgraded to a corner suite. Works almost every time. So just do that every time. And then we were fortunate enough to, my wife, the awesome lady that she is, got us tickets to the Golden Knights game. So we got to go see a Golden Knights hockey game. So we went back to the room, check in, get changed into our whatever gear, not wedding gear. And then,
so what happens if they're not off to Hawaii and there's a reception to go?
Then we stay.
Just asking.
No, then we stay because the game wasn't until 7:30. So and the wedding started at 1. So listen, after being here for 6 hours, we could cap off if we need to, you know. But it was also one of those things where if we were a little bit late to the game, it wasn't a big deal because we were already out there. So we did get to go to the game, which was awesome. T-Mobile Arena hadn't been there before. I like the way that the stadium's built. It was more intimate. Like they built up instead of out. So like the higher the decks go, you don't get further away from the action. You just get higher. So it's because I was always wondering because they do so many UFC events there. And I'm like, they do, boxing at Staples Center. I'm like, but those seats look like they're fucking garbage. The ones I can't afford, but would try and get. Like, because the upper deck goes out, up and out. So at T-Mobile, they just don't have a third upper deck. They just don't have all those wasted, 15,000 seats where you feel like you're going to get vertigo and die when you're trying to walk down your seat. And then everything was just kind of stacked on top of each other. So that part was cool.
If I ain't sitting second level of the highest I go these days, buddy.
Yeah, we're kind of on that trip where it's usually whatever they call the first level, then Loge is usually the second, and that's kind of where we hang. And then every now and again, like at a baseball game, if there's reserve, but it's like the very first one, if it's not a steep incline, then those first few rows are okay. But other than that, like, dude, I feel like I'm gonna fall forward when it's too steep. I don't like it.
Like once you get to a certain level, I just prefer to be watching it at home. Like,
yeah, that's exactly kind of where I'm at. I shoot you pictures anywhere I'm at. Like, what the fuck are these people thinking? Like, taking pictures of seats. Like, nope. Yeah. Might as well have a bungee cord. Do not go up there.
No, that's it.
But we did. It was kind of cool. We did get to sit next to Oral Hershiser. He was a couple seats down, so that was kind of cool.
That's dope. You should have smacked the shit out of him just for the fun of it.
Why?
You could have made Sports Center.
That seems silly. I was supposed to be there, Mike. I can't act like it wasn't.
Yeah.
Oh, and then we capped off a wonderful evening. The Golden Knights did their due diligence and spanked the Red Wings, which was nice. They did their practice time, got them in there. And then we went back to the room, and then we actually had a tub in the bathroom, and I never even try to attempt to get into these things because I'm too big, and it's always like super uncomfortable. But I'm like, this one looks like it may fit a Brendan. Let me see if this one fits a Brendan. So I got in there, and then inevitably had to toot. So I kind of let one go, and I was in clothes, mind you, but that thing rippled. It was so loud, the echo of the bathtub in the bathroom, to where even my wife was like, oh my gosh. It's like, yeah, sorry. But then I really wondered how loud it would have been if I was bare-assed. Like, oh my gosh, the acoustics in there. I don't know. So that was kind of the capper. That was the Thursday in Vegas. And then Friday was just hanging out all day and freaking like waiting, like let my wife be at work and I'm just hanging out in Vegas.
Yeah, ain't nothing better than that, buddy.
Well, when you're broke in Vegas, it kind of sucks. So I did have to get some food, so I went and got a sandwich at the shop, and we have to have a little sandwich discussion. All right? I know that you're a BLT guy. I know that's your sandwich. I know it. However, when you go to a standard sandwich type place, like,
I'm just get a club.
Listen, if the pickles that you use are bread and butter pickles, that should come with a disclaimer. I'm putting that out there.
I don't eat pickles, so that's all you do.
But bread and butter pickles are very specific. They're a very specific flavor. And so if you pass those off as regular pickles on my sandwich, you potentially are ruining my sandwich. So you need to fucking tell people these are bread and butter pickles. That was my first whatever with this sandwich spot.
There you go, bro.
And my sister used to be a sandwich artist, so I know what I'm talking about here. The other thing that they did was...
I don't even get Chick-fil-A with pickles. Take that shit off my sandwich.
Not even a Nashville hot with pickles from Popeyes?
I don't even know what the fuck a Nashville hot is.
Nashville hot. It's some stupid way that everybody just tries to make spicy chicken sound more appetizing. Nashville hot. Oh. So, but Popeyes does have a bomb-ass. I don't do spicy, so... They have a bomb-ass regular chicken sandwich. People were getting in fights over these years ago.
Who?
Oh, the type of people that fight at Popeyes. You know?
Oh, yeah, those idiots.
Yeah, exactly. Picture the type of person.
Isn't as good as it once was.
Nailed it.
So.
So here's the other thing. I don't like when they chop through the entire piece of bread. Like, I want you to open the face of it so that nothing slides out the backside, right? So you cut along one side of it. You don't cut all the way through. I don't want separate pieces. I want it to be open like a book.
No, I want separate pieces.
Why? All this shit slides out.
Never. You just hold it tight, bro.
Not if you get a good sandwich that's layered properly.
I mean, I eat clubs on a regular basis, and they're pretty layered. And
See, I usually get the Italians, like whatever the Italian style is, because that's just my jam. And that usually comes with like 3 types of meats, a cheese, tomatoes, lettuce, pickles, whatever the stupid, sauce or whatever they use is. That shit can get all over the place. So I do like an open face type deal. What I don't like is what these people did. And they did the open face, big fan, but then they lay everything down in the middle, flat, and then fold it over. So then now you have folded meats that you take a bite on one side and it squirts out the other end. Or you just don't get a really good bite because sometimes you're getting too much meat, sometimes you're only getting a little bit of meat. Like, just come on, man.
Sound like a struggle sandwich. It sound like a struggling sandwich situation.
It was pretty decent, but
all this complaining that it was still a decent sandwich.
yeah, because it's a sandwich, it's still decent, but it could have been a great sandwich. That's my point. And why these sandwich makers
they're in
don't
Vegas.
know.
They're not aiming for great, man. Just decent. Decent gets the job done for sandwiches in Vegas. If you want a sandwich, you're going to come see them because everything else is bullshit to eat in Vegas.
Earl of Sandwich
Food.
is the best sandwich in Vegas at Planet Hollywood. Earl of Sandwich.
It's called what?
Earl of Sandwich. Like Duke,
I'll remember that next time I
Duke
go.
of Earl of Sandwich. Like that. That one is a bomb. Oh, all right. So we're gonna power through here because also this week I posted a picture of my cereal drawer. We got your little pull-out cereal drawer. I caught so much shit about my cereal selection that we need to just address this. We need to talk cereal. I know you don't do milk, but let's go through and see. Start easy. Plain cereal. What's your favorite kind of plain cereal?
I don't eat plain cereal.
You don't eat Cheerios?
No.
You don't eat Life?
No.
All right. I would have to say
Life is pretty good though.
I would say Life is probably my favorite plain cereal.
But is Life plain? It's like cinnamon flavor.
No, they have cinnamon flavor and they have plain. I have 4 boxes. I know for sure what Life offers. So I would say Life. All right, Fruity. What about Fruity?
Fruity Pebbles when I was growing up, but I don't eat milk anymore. So I don't use milk anymore, so can't have those.
So no Fruity Pebbles without milk.
No, I don't like them without milk. They're not. That's just like eating candy. That's not cool. So without milk, the fruitiest I get is probably Fruit Loops.
Interesting.
But I don't have them often. But that's probably the fruitiest I get without milk.
Do you do Lucky Charms? Marshmallows?
No. Lucky Charms don't have a flavor, and without milk, marshmallows are trash.
No, 100%. That's why I was kind of curious. But what about marshmallows?
Oh, no, I do like Oops. That's fruity. Oops all berry, or the Oops with the Oops berries.
Oh.
Captain Crunch with the berries. I was
going to say, you like Crunch Berries, though.
Yeah, Crunch Berries is fruity. So, yeah, I do Crunch Berries. I definitely do Crunch Berries.
Oh, my gosh. Are they ever going to come up with a situation where people can eat Captain Crunch without destroying the inside of their mouth with that non-nutrient cereal varnish that's on there?
It crushes your mouth, bro. Like, it is so painful to eat, but it's good.
You know what's also good, though, is if you soak the Captain Crunch cereal in milk, like just let it kind of almost get to the dissolving thing.
No, because no one likes soggy cereal.
And then you scoop out the Captain Crunch and put in a different cereal, then you get the flavor of Captain Crunch in the milk.
I definitely didn't know you were going there, sir.
Oh, I do that shit all the time. If I'm like, man, I kind of want to mix I'll like eat one flavor of cereal and then I'll put like I'll do, so cinnamon. My favorite cereal is Cheerios Cinnamon Toasted Oat Crunch. It's my favorite cereal right now. And so sometimes it's nice with a little honey additive. So I'll eat a bowl of that and I'll eat like a bowl of like Honey Nut Cheerios or, Honey Chex or something like that. And then the cinnamon and the honey together is just, it's so good. And it's just the flavor of the milk, man. Why would you not utilize all the milk if you're a milk consumer?
Don't know. Good question.
All right. What about for cinnamon cereal? Are you an Apple Jacks guy? Is Apple Jacks even cinnamon?
Apple Jacks. Apple Jacks has a hint of cinnamon. Apple Jacks is my shit.
Yeah, that's fine.
Apple Jacks is my jam, but Cinnamon Toast Crunch is pretty good too.
Yeah. Have you tried the churro kind?
No.
It's not very good. It's the same thing as Cinnamon Toast Crunch. They're just different shapes. That don't go well with the process of eating cereal as much. They're kind of weird floaties. All right, do you have your Honey Nut Cheerios, yeah?
You know it, buddy.
Yeah. I will say the Honey Bunches of Oats, pretty good from time to time, but not all the time. And like Honey Nut Chex, those are good for mix-ins. Those are my things there.
All those are good. Honeycombs are pretty good too, and not too bad for you.
Honeycombs, the problem with those, with me anyway, is that I can't eat them fast enough. Because the ones that get soggy are just like, yeah, they're no good. But they get soggy pretty quick.
No, they do. I'm as you know, I'm just straight out the box. So
yeah. Did they have like a waffle crisp cereal or some shit?
we did for a while.
For a while, right? Was that any good?
And they got all types of cereal now. I was in the store. I saw like a oatmeal cream pie cereal. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, they got some shit going on these days. Do you eat chocolate cereal?
Reese's.
Chocolate peanut butter, I guess.
It's absolutely chocolate peanut butter.
Dude, the better...
Outside of that, I don't eat chocolate cereal.
I'm telling you, the better version of that is Cocoa Puffs and the Puffins, like peanut butter cereal. You mix those two together, because that's the problem with Reese's peanut butter puffs, is they're trying to make two great flavors go together. But if you just take the Cocoa Puffs and the Puffins, which separately they put all of their energy into specific flavors, and then you just combine them, you're at 200%, Mike.
I'm good on the Reese's.
I clearly spend too much time on cereal, so let's spend some more time on it. What about sugar cereals?
That's my favorite. That's where
you're gonna have a debate, right?
What? I mean, that's where my favorite cereal of all time resides. So,
all right. So give me some of your faves. Frosted Flakes, right? Yeah. I knew that was number
can't
one.
go wrong with her, man. Yeah. I have a box down here beside me in my basement. Absolutely. Yep. That's my snack. That's what I eat as a snack. I don't eat chips and shit anymore as I used to. I eat cereal. And right now, the cereal of flavor is Frosted Flakes, baby.
But that would
I love Frosted Flakes, man. You can't go wrong. She's just like, handy dandy, always going to be there, always going to be right. You can't ever go wrong with Frosted Flakes. I'm sorry. You just can't.
We got a double box in the house. We're good. But what other sugar cereals do you like? Because obviously, like Captain Crunch. Other sugar cereals. Captain Crunch.
I literally went down every cereal that I eat with the different categories. I don't really double up in categories.
I know you don't, but I know with sugar cereal that you do vary from time to time. What about like, do you ever chomp on Frosted Mini Wheats, or you have to have cereal with that, or milk with that?
No, Frosted Mini Wheats are good, but I don't eat them often because I don't like the wheat part. Like, I just don't do it for me.
Yeah. Well, just bite the half with the frosting on it,
but they're pretty good.
Give the other half to Maggie.
Oh, not good. But
see? All right, guys could eat, snack together on the couch. Oh man, that's so gorgeous! Look at how happy you got at that prospect.
Yeah, you're right, man. The little Mags, but yeah, I don't really eat no other frosted. Yeah, I don't really eat that often. Yeah, I'm a Frosted Flakes guy, man. I ain't gonna lie. I'm a Frosted Flakes guy right now. I got Frosted Flakes. I keep a box of Reese's. I got Honey Nut Cheerios. That's it.
Yeah, so we usually keep regular Cheerios, Honey Nut Cheerios, Plain Life, and Cinnamon Life. That's like always on one section. We always keep those in the house.
See, because I came up from the project where we came up on like off-brand Frosted Flakes, and we had to put shit
in the
on
bag.
them.
The big bag was what we got. Whatever O's. Yeah. It was like Fruity O's, Chocolate O's, Life O's. You're like, you just stole their name. You can't say Life O's.
So Frosted Flakes is like a thing for me. I'll never let that go. Shout out to Frosted Flakes and Tiger, because you're a great baby.
All right. Well, thank you for ending that cereal debate for me. That was very, very kind of you. I was catching too much shit, and I'm like, man, you guys are just bunk with your fucking cereal selections.
Everybody likes different types, because I have a homeboy who likes all that new shit. Like, he just gets the joy of getting new cereal. So he buys all the new random shit. You know what I'm saying?
That's pretty
like
cool.
Pop-Tart cereal.
Oh, so yeah, that's too far.
Yeah, that's crazy, but that's his thing. So everybody has their own thing when it comes to cereal.
See, I always also liked like a Special K with berries, but I don't know. I'm a simple man.
I've never had that, actually. I've literally never had that, so I don't know how good it is or isn't.
It requires milk because it kind of it rehydrates the berries. Otherwise, you're just eating dehydrated strawberries.
That's what it is about marshmallows too. Like, you can't eat a marshmallow cereal without some type, because the marshmallows need some type of hydration. Like, they're not like the squishy white marshmallow. Like, they're dry.
But even so, okay, if you don't put your little tiny mini marshmallows in a hot chocolate, you're just eating them out of the bag. You're a fucking psychopath.
But they have texture and moisture. Like, they're not dried out. Like, you could if you wanted to. They're fluffy.
I know, but I am saying on the marshmallow kick, like, if you are gonna eat marshmallows out of the bag, get the real size ones. Don't be a weirdo eating pellets of marshmallows like a rabbit.
Don't get the mini shits. The mini shits. No. Yeah, get the real size shit. You're right about that.
Oh, so then we got back. So then we ended up getting back from Vegas on Friday. Totally, everything's cool. And then we went into this weekend, which was finale for sports. So we had soccer finale Saturday morning. Then we had baseball finale for both boys on Sunday. So that was one hell of a deal. But the season's all over. It was a ton of fun. That was great. But then we had our pizza parties, because everybody does a pizza party for sports parties. So if you're going to say it like that, next year you better do something different. Don't fucking complain about it and don't change it. I'm the one that ordered. Hey, for the T-ball team, I'm the one that ordered the pizza. So I'm not complaining about it. I'm just saying that's the kind of the golden standard is pizza party.
Next year have a Subway party, man. Order sandwiches. I'm sure it's probably about the same price.
Yeah, but kids like 3 and 5-year-olds don't eat Subway sandwiches. They're not.
Oh, have a Chick-fil-A party. Everybody eats Chick-fil-A nuggets, man. Just tell them to bring you like fucking 100 Chick-fil-A nuggets.
Yeah, I don't know. There's been parents who have brought like some pretty lavish like barbecue chicken things for all the kids, and we're like, what the? Did you spend $400 on snacks today? Like, okay.
Well, look, I'm gonna go ahead and grab this and see.
Oh yeah, they're leftovers, bro. Like, I don't want to cook dinner tonight. I'm hungry too.
I'm gonna take a couple of these, because these kids, they don't know what this is. They missing on this good eats.
You remember who was coaching these kids? You remember who was teaching them life skills and baseball at the same time? Feed the horse, baby. Feed the horse.
I'm gonna show them what they supposed to do with this good $400 plate that you wanted to bring out here. Come on over. I'm gonna take care of that for you.
Oh, so that also means we had a shit ton of leftover pizza. So I did figure out something though. Enchilada sauce on pizza is the shit, dude. So normally my pizza routine is I'll get whatever my pizza is, whether it be a ham and pineapple or like a pepperoni type of deal. And I'll do hot sauce, either sriracha and ranch, or I'll do tapatio and ranch.
Ironclad fucking stomach to eat pizza with sriracha and ranch. That's a whole lot of shit going on.
Yeah, well, with sriracha and ranch, you can kind of drizzle it over. But if you do tapatio, I usually put ranch in a cup, mix it together, and then kind of artist it on the...
on top of the cheese
and toppings
and whatever meats or whatever that is on there. That's a lot, and the bread and the sauce. That's a lot.
Oh, then you have the crust, and you have your dipping sauce. It's your hot ranch sauce. It's perfect. It's beautiful. What's your? Okay, stop shaking your head. So usually I'll get like a pepperoni.
Stomach. I'm not shaking your head because I kind of wish I could eat like that, but I have a shit ass stomach, so it's the basics over here, man. I keep it the pizza with no cheese because I'm lactose, and whatever fucking meats, no homo, that I'm gonna put on it.
You've been afraid of meats lately. You've been afraid of meats lately. Just noticing that.
Nah, man, I don't take that back.
See, but when
I don't want to offend anybody.
No.
Pause. But yeah, man.
See, but you don't put anything else on your pizza. See, now what? Do you ever go to
Just
like
whatever it goes with.
No, I know, but do you ever go to those individual pizza places where it's like Subway, and you're like, I want this on there, this. Have you ever gone to those places?
No.
They make it right in front of you and throw it in the oven?
No. I'm not going like pizza or none of that shit. No.
See, I used to do that stuff, and I would have the same order. I would get Alfredo and marinara sauce mixed together as the base, mozzarella cheese, and then I would get fennel sausage, spicy pepperoni, and anchovies, and then I would get olives, pepperoncinis, and spinach, and mushrooms, and then in the oven it goes.
Yeah, nah, that's way too much going on. I don't even eat fast. I mean, I don't even eat like not fast food. I don't eat like just depend. Like I'm not eating any of that shit. No, I eat open bar type of shit. Like other people can breathe over. I'm good. So no, like what's that shit?
But you go to Chipotle.
All you can eat.
You go to Chipotle. Oh, buffets. You don't do buffets. You only get the guacamole,
and I don't eat Chipotle.
Hang on, let's one thing at a time here. You only get the guacamole from Chipotle.
Only guacamole, buddy.
Arriba. All right. So buffets? You're a no-go.
I'm done with buffets. Yeah, I haven't had a buffet since the pandemic started, and I'm not going back.
Okay, but what about before the pandemic? Let's talk about real time.
Before the pandemic, I would eat Golden Corral. I limit my buffets. I love Golden. I used to love Golden Corral because of their like buttery biscuits. I don't know. Do y'all have Golden Corral? You have Golden Corral?
I think we have them somewhere. Jeff Foxworthy doesn't make it out to the West Coast very often.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But no, we had Hometown Buffet. Hometown Buffet is the big one out here, West Coast.
Yeah.
They've been around for centuries.
Like, other buffets around here that I grew up on, I started to realize like that wasn't it. You don't want that shit. So, but yeah. But no, I'm done after the pandemic. Hell no, I don't want no buffet.
Yeah, I don't know.
Get the pandemic from something to eat? That's bullshit.
I'm a hell of a lot more cavalier with my life. I eat shit off the floor still. I don't care. I mean, my food, not other people's food. I don't eat other people's food, but if I know that I dropped it, I'm not even concerned about the time period, really. Just as long as I know it was me that dropped it, it's in good condition. Whatever. It's got that non-nutritive cereal varnish on it. Just wipe it off. You're good.
Have fun with that, buddy.
The other thing with all these season-ending parties was I got stacked with a bunch of cupcakes. I went on another cupcake eating spree. The monster is back. So I had on Sunday evening, after the games are all done, I went and puffed the Magic Dragon. It was like, okay, season's over, 2 seasons over. We're good. Everybody's in bed. It's time to chill it out. So I smashed on, I think, like 4 Oreo cupcakes in one sitting. And then, actually, that's not true. I ate 2 cupcakes, and I tried to take reasonable bites because you yelled at me last time. So there were maybe like 4 or 5 bite cupcakes. Is that reasonable?
That's reasonable.
Okay. So I took down 2, and then I think when my son was down. So yeah, anyway, I ate 2, and then it was like 5 minutes later I ate the other 2. And then the next day, I had no assistance whatsoever. There was just still 5 birthday cupcakes in the refrigerator, so I was like, well, I'm not going to throw them away, but they need to get out of the house. So I just sat there and ate them all at once.
How you turn down birthday cake cupcakes?
I don't know. Well, because I don't like sprinkles. Sprinkles is like the glitter of frosting. Like, get it the fuck out of here, man. I don't need it with my strippers or bakers. Like, get it out.
Yeah, birthday cake cupcakes. Yeah, I'd have took care of those for you.
But yeah, I took those all down in one sitting. I needed 2 glasses of milk for that.
And that's a lot of cupcakes, though, bro.
Yeah, 9 cupcakes, within a 24-hour period. That's pretty good. Oh, all right. Well, let's move on to more exciting things in sports. Did you see Luka get a technical for telling Terrence Mann he was too small? That literally, like, I watched back the replay. Did you see this?
No.
Oh my gosh, dude. So I watched back the replay, and Luke, like, I'm looking for cuss words, I'm looking for hand gestures, He literally just makes a move on him, does his thing, and then he's standing there in the paint and just goes, "You can't. You're too small." And then the ref teched him. I was like, come on. That's trash talking 101. And then as they're walking away, he's like, "What did I get technical for?" He's like, she was like, "You said he's too small." And he's like, "I don't give a fuck." Like, right? So everybody could see. It's like, that's a champion right there.
Yeah, no, I'm a Luka fan. Luka's my guy.
Dude, these European white boys that now can ball, you can't fuck with them because they're just as hard as everybody else on the court. It used to be that they didn't have the skills. Now they have the skills. So you got to treat them like everybody else out there. They're bad motherfuckers.
They're not taking none of that shit. You see Jokic and his brothers.
Exactly.
None of that bullshit. None of it, buddy.
Jokic.
They've been fighting all their lives.
They're the Kirilinkos of the NBA.
They've been fighting. Shout out to Andre Kirilenko, first dude with a wife that openly gave him a hall pass. Shout out to you, Andre. You worked that into your marriage agreement. Shout out to you, Kirilenko. You're bad.
Is he the one that's married to Hayden Panettiere?
I don't know who he was. Kirilenko's been out the league for a while, but his wife's Russian or some shit.
Okay, because I was gonna say they were married for a while, and it was like, that's gotta hurt.
Once a year, baby. Once a year. He negotiated that as part of his marriage deal. Once a year, my man get a Harley. Shout out to Kirilenko for negotiating that.
That's bananas, dude.
I don't know how good or bad that is to have that ability. And I'm not saying he always used it, but shout out to you, my friend.
Oh, man. Well, let's move on to football. And specifically, I want to talk about UCLA quarterbacks, past and present. So, did you see our homie Curvet over that USC defender into the end zone? Like, jump 5 feet in the air?
Hey, I've always liked him, though. I liked him since he was on QB1. I thought he was going to be better, though. He hasn't been that good at UCLA.
Yeah, that was pretty sweet. And then he also got in trouble for signing a hat. Like, he scored a touchdown, like, grabbed a hat, signed it. He got flagged for it. I don't know if the school's going to be in trouble for it. Do you think that, like, that's a big deal for college? You're not supposed, especially with all this likeness shit going around, you're not supposed to be signing your name. That's a fucking violation.
Why is it a violation when you can sign an NIL deal for your likeness? So how the fuck do they matter if you sign a hat when you can make $1 million?
But, okay. Is that for everybody right now? Or is it still...
Yes, everybody in college can make... Anybody, like the third string quarterback for Ohio State has $1 million deal right now. He's the third string quarterback. His last name is Evers or some shit.
Yeah. Okay, so I didn't know if it was national yet, first of all. Yeah. But I did know that there's certain restrictions. Like school, it's kind of like the weed laws. Like federally, they have this thing overall. It's opposite, but like every school can still operate slightly independently. Like they can have regulations on how they're allowed to acquire that money.
Yeah, I'm sure it's like, oh, we get a percentage too of what you get on this contract because we're giving you the spotlight to make money off your likeness, and that's cool.
But even
how
more
much
than
you think he gonna get for that fucking hat?
No.
He ain't getting that much.
But I'm saying no. I'm saying not even that. But I'm saying like it has to be approved. Like they can't have a weed store sponsor them. They can't have alcohol sponsor them. Like they have to.
What are you talking about? They can have any damn thing they want sponsor them.
That's not true. Not in each individual. Like each individual school
I'm not
has
gonna say
their
what
own
your school is
regulations.
going to allow.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. Is there are, since they do have those macro, those large, like you definitely can't do these. You think these kids are reading, or their agents are reading all the fine print of these things? I hope they are, but they usually also have very finite things. Like the school doesn't want them making money without him, so they're not gonna allow them to give away free shit.
Somebody else is gonna make money off that. He's not gonna make a dime. Ain't like he can charge the dude right there.
That is again my point. Is that there? I don't know if there's any regulations on that. Like you have, like your signatures have to be.
They're just finding. They're crying about the wrong shit at this point. People.
Oh yeah, I think so too. But I'm trying to get the bottom of why it's such a big deal.
Probably such a big deal because he did it so openly and whoop after he scored a touchdown, all this shit. I don't understand why it's a big deal when there's a dude in high school in the 10th grade has $1 million NIL deal. He's not even in college. He's in the fucking 10th grade. His name is Mikey Williams. He's in the 10th grade And he has $1 million deal. And I just saw him on like some random commercial with some like car dealership, bro. Like in North Carolina, like he's making money. The Ohio State third string quarterback signed his NIL deal while in college and then left and enrolled at Ohio State early because he's making money now. What the hell business do I have to take this chemistry class for? What? Yeah, right, buddy.
Yeah. Dude, the whole system is jacked. But that's what I'm trying to find out where these little loopholes are in, because I'm not reading all those pages. I'm just not. But I do want to understand.
Unless I had a child and it mattered.
Right.
I don't have a kid that age.
But I do like to understand the guidelines that, I like to understand what they're deeming as acceptable behavior and not acceptable behavior, because usually it's the people making the rules that are making all the bad decisions.
I think it's something that's going to disappear. I don't think it's going to be a big deal for too long. I think they're just making a big deal of it in this moment.
Honestly, do you think it's going to be something where eventually they just let the schools pay these kids?
The schools don't want to give the money to pay these kids, which is why they went this way.
I know.
This is why they went this route.
It's so hairy. It's so hairy this way. It's so hairy this way. It should just be that they...
It's not. It's actually the best way they can do it, because the kids are still picking the school that they want based on whatever kid they were already picking school. That's a place for you to go play ball, whatever, you know what I mean? And the deal doesn't, because you can go to any school, and if you're good... Even if it's not a national NIL deal, you can still get $100,000 from the local car dealership if you're the best person on the team. Like, it's a dude in college now. He got a deal with a dentist company. He's the destructor, the sacker of cavities or some shit.
Yeah,
but those local shits are going to give you deals anyway. Like, you'll make some money. You won't make as much as the person in New York, or if he's on the number one team in the country. Cool, you might not make that money, but you're going to make some money more than you would have made if this wasn't in place. So, everybody stop crying. The Cali people, we know they're going to get the best deals and make the most money. That's where everything is, and they're in California. Accept it. Unless you want to do is go to school in California, by all means. You can do that, buddy, if you're good enough. If you're not, sucks to be you. What do you want me to tell you?
I don't know. I just think it's such a fucked up situation to where it's so ambiguous as to what's acceptable and what's not, because it's so new that I'm interested to see how they hone in and where they start getting upset, because the NCAA eventually will be like, whoa. We didn't say that you could do this for free,
shit,
or
man,
we didn't say you could
all
do
worked
that.
out and planned. Ain't nobody gonna get upset, because I'm pretty sure they're getting paid too.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure they're getting a percentage too. They have
they are
to
too.
get upset.
It just opens, I don't know. For me, it opens the door for so much extra sleaziness, where it's like, okay, if the schools are controlling the sleaziness, whatever, the kid's accepting to go to that school because the school has recruited them, they're going to pay them a certain amount of money, whatever. You're getting in bed with them knowing what you're getting into. But these car dealership guys, they get these kids when they're, in some bumfuck town in the South, and they're like, listen, kid, I know you're 12 right now, but when you go, if you go to Louisiana Monroe, then we'll hook you up. $100,000, let me just alleviate the pressure from you right now, because that's my alma mater and I want you to go there.
But what sense would that make for them if this is a business deal for you? You want this person who's trying to make you money?
12-year-olds don't have the best business savvy.
No. I'm talking about for the person who's trying to get them to go to bumfuck Louisiana Monroe. Is that the best thing for you? Is that where it's going to be the biggest stage for you to get the most bang for your buck? That would make no sense. That's why the sleazy part of it, it's kind of... Because these people aren't going to start paying them in NRL until they know where they're going. As far as the local dudes and the national dudes, they don't give a shit where you go. Just go to the biggest school and get us the most exposure you can. I don't care which one of these big schools it is. You have about 12 to choose from. Any of the top 12, please choose. You're going to be on national TV every week. You're going to get exposure. We prefer Big Ten or SEC. But if you decide to go Pac-12 and be on Oregon, you'll still get your TV time. It'll be a little later in the day.
As long as you're playing on Channel 7 at 5:00 Pacific, who gives a shit?
We don't care. We go, because you don't know how many times they're gonna say, "Oh yeah, he just made that tackle. His NIL deals with Porsche. Oh man, he made another tackle. Porsche getting banged for their buck on that." And you'll get that. the sleaziness comes in when it's the local jokers like that after the fact, and they want you to pay you money to do more or try to, you know what I'm saying? Like, but
manipulate you. Yeah, I got you.
yeah, manipulate the situation. Or like you said, if someone is that big on their alma mater and they want you and they try to pay you to go to this little bum shit at school, which is not really smart for them. But if someone wants to do that and someone wants to take that money, but what I'm saying is it lessens it because you can get that same 100,000 from whatever school you go to, their local car dealership. Just wait a month, whatever the month, or sign early. Like you control that. You can announce where you're going the moment you want to. Any day you can wake up and be like, "Yo, you know what? I'm 5-star and I want to go to Notre Dame, so I'm just gonna wake up today and call Brian Kelly and be like, yeah, I'm coming there, buddy." He's gonna be like, "Okay, we'll see you. What day you'll be here?" And then when you put that on Twitter, and then the people from where the fuck is Notre Dame, South Bend, they're gonna start hitting you up, be like, "Yeah, you want this $100,000 NIL?" Shit, how it works, man.
All right. Well, thank you for breaking it down because I don't know. It's a little foggy for me because I don't know the details.
Oh, it's going to get foggy. I mean, everything gets foggy now. Come on. Because then it's going to get to the point where people are starting to pay ADs. Well, look, yeah, man, I want your players to sign their NILs with me. And shit's just crazy.
That's what I'm saying.
But when the money's involved, everything gets sketchy. You know that. Like, once money is involved, it leads to sketchiness. That's just the nature of money.
Speaking of which,
evil, man.
Yeah, well, speaking of which, another UCLA quarterback update. Josh Rosen, still a piece of shit, got in the game, threw a pick six immediately. So there's your Josh Rosen piece of shit update for the week.
You were just waiting to get that in on Josh Rosen.
No, but it was hilarious
because Josh Rosen do something to you personally? Because I know y'all both from LA and Cali.
No,
so y'all might have
I just
paths.
did not like the way that he treated people when he was representing UCLA.
Blame his fucking parents for that. Don't blame him.
I do blame his parents for that. I do blame his parents for that. But at a certain point, you are a young adult. Now he's a man. Fucking whatever. You're still a douche. He was a douche when he got to Miami. Like, this is my team. And they're like, you're competing for the second string job, loser.
Johnny Manziel used to be the same way till he got himself humbled too.
Yeah.
Like, they're raised this way in which they can do this to people. So when
that's
first
why
time that
it
they
makes me
can't,
happy.
they like their worlds are fucked up. Like when you're on a point where people are on par with you, which means that bullshit means nothing to me. You get punched in your damn face, you talking crazy because I don't care how much money you got, then it changes things for you. And that's what happened when they both, but it took them getting all the way to the pros because their parents and shit probably had that much money where they kept them in upper classity type of shit. But they never had nobody where they was equal to, was like, tell their ass, like, bro, what you're doing is stupid and wrong. Like, you need to relax.
That is one thing,
buddy.
That is one thing that I've noticed. Like, even the guys that, like, the NFL is just no fucking around. It doesn't matter who you were, what you did. It's like you're now dealing with men.
And that was a good thing for Jimmy Clausen. He went to Notre Dame. They don't even get off scholarships. So you know what? Everybody here got some money. It might not be as much as you rolling up in your limo on the first day of practice, but listen, bro, everybody got some money. So they humbled him real quick. Humble pie, my guy. Bring your ass back to reality. You ain't above nobody. That limo shit was a one-day thing. Listen, bro, you ain't above nobody here. We don't give a shit about your limo.
Yep. Dude, there's all kinds of shit going around. St. Louis and Stan Kroenke, that whole bullshit finally got settled. $790 million they settled for moving the Rams from St. Louis to LA. 790. And here's the thing. It's been going on for almost 5 years. And
so they made that $790 million.
That's what I'm saying.
That shit from money
they already made that shit from SoFi because it got done in mediation. Yeah. It got done in mediation. They already know how much money they're making hand over fist. They're like, because they originally were trying to get like $1 billion, and then after all this time, they finally settled it just under $800 million. So that goes to show you how much money SoFi and the Rams or whatever are generating, because they also didn't disclose how much the NFL and the other 31 owners, what their portion is going to be. Because it's not just Stan Kroenke. It's Stan Kroenke and the quote-unquote NFL, which means 31 owners and Stan Kroenke. So he's going to have to pay a big portion of it, or more than other people, the owners. But they may just be like, hey, you have to give 40, everybody else gives 30. Not that much, obviously, because the math doesn't work out. But, what it might be insignificant, the increase from everybody to Stan Kroenke, just because of the SoFi thing. He's like, hey, AFC and NFC get to play here. You guys want to fucking play here? Cough it up. Cough up the dough. We all did this together. You know what I mean?
Well, no, just everything's such a split revenue with the NFL. They're like, oh, man, you got a debt? Okay, we're going to split it because we're going to eat together anyway. So, look, come on, man. Let's all just kick into his debt, pay him off so he can shut the fuck up, and we're going to make it back this season. Y'all ready? Go. Rich-ass NFL. NFL makes money hand over fist. Just ridiculous.
Doesn't Goodell make like $40 million a year or something stupid?
To do... If there's controversy, what the fuck does Goodell do? Excuse my language, because I know we had a cussing episode a couple weeks back, so I'm trying to. But Goodell, all these NBA, whatever commissioners, are like, oh, they fight for the image of the league. Guess what? If these grown men don't cause you any problems, you do nothing. You do nothing. The NBA literally has a board of people to suspend people now. So who's the lead? He just got to get on a podium and make sure everybody, like, he got to stand up for like stuff like when there's stuff like the pandemic.
The only thing Roger Goodell has to do is react. He's a PR reaction.
Economy, so everybody knows that. So not to do too much because he's just gonna kick you out the league. Like, bro, oh yeah, you're done. Oh, Zeke, you didn't even get charged or anything. Guess what? You look bad. I'm gonna make you miss 6 games. Oh, you? Oh, we saw the tape. We weren't gonna suspend you at first, but now it's public knowledge. We gotta suspend you. We're gonna kick you out the league, Ray Rice. Oh, what you do? Oh, man, we was gonna let it pass, but nope. Now we know it's a video out there. Oh, you gotta go. Like, and he has full power. And then they say, oh, we're gonna appeal, and guess who you go to arbitration with? Oh, the same dude who suspended you in the first place. Oh, that is crazy. Who voted to give him that much power? Like, it's like the Democrats right now. Like, it's just someone with all the power. Like, we're just gonna do what we want, and no one's gonna be able to stop us for 4 years. That's cool. All right.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? Not watch football?
That's what everybody thought was gonna happen when the Kaepernick thing happened. Oh, people are gonna stop watching football. Oh, yeah, they're gonna stop watching football. Yep, that's what's gonna happen.
People just started tuning in 2 minutes after kickoff.
The people who play football with him that are the same color with him couldn't back him. You thought the people who don't play football were going to back him? Come on. My goodness. Like, did people really? I don't understand what people be thinking sometimes. Like, sometimes you just got to stop and think it all the way through. Like, he had teammates. He had the other people in the NFL that were talking all this. Oh, we're behind Kaepernick. Woo, woo. As soon as the owner said don't kneel, none of them kneel. You don't, do y'all, I hate bringing race into our show, but anyway.
Why? You're racist.
85% of the NFL is black, bro. All y'all had to do is say, we back him and we're just not going to play. What would they have done if 85% of their players say we're not going to play?
They would have an exhibition-style looking football match with all the C and B athletes.
That's all they required, bro. That's literally all that was required was for y'all to stick together and say that. But you think they was going to do that? No. So why would I be? That means I care more than the people he played for, with, and against. Yeah, right. I kept watching. Because y'all don't care enough. Why would I care that much? Come on, bro.
That's my Chick-fil-A argument. Like, I was not about Chick-fil-A until I saw a bunch of gay people in line. I'm like, all right, well, I guess if they gave up, I can too. That's the NFL. Like, oh, you guys aren't going to kneel with him? Oh, okay, I guess I'll just watch then. Who cares?
So here's my thing and why I never was too mad at Chick-fil-A. And I know we're going on a little long today. Sorry, my people. Chick-fil-A came out as that. Like, that's what they've always been. They've been this Christian organization, which is why they don't open on Sundays. So them having that stance is it's not an unexpected stance. Somebody put a microphone in their face and asked their opinion on something, so they gave it, and that's why it became a thing. But if you know what they're about, then you already knew that about them. If you know what Chick-fil-A is about as a company, then you know they don't back people being gay because they're built on the Christianity whole thing. Like, that's their thing. So and that's part of the faith as it is. So that's not really wasn't a big oh hoorah, that's surprise. Like it shouldn't have surprised people as it did. Like, bro, it's just a thing. But anyway, yeah.
Well, you know what else is a thing? You being on the fucking ropes in our fantasy football league. You need to win out, man. I think you need to win out.
It's ugly. It's ugly, man. I might not be able to win out. I was talking a whole bunch of shit, and then Dak sold me up a river last week. My team it's somebody every week that just sells me the fuck out, bro.
Whatever, dude. It's because you don't draft well and you draft the same players in all your leagues, so you're screwed.
No. It's because the people who supposed to show up don't show up. Dak is a guy that's supposed to put up numbers every week. There shouldn't be a week where you get held to 9 fantasy points. 9?
Yeah, that's pretty
Come
rough,
on,
man. I'm just saying. I only have 2 losses, but I lost to the same team twice, so I got a vendetta against somebody in the playoffs here. So, but you know that'll come in due time. I won't see you there, but that's okay. That's all right.
9.
All right, man. Well, hey, this week, if you do not dislike either Joe Cocker or Rihanna, I highly suggest you check out the Spotify playlist of the week, which is, in fact, those two, Joe Cocker and Rihanna. let me diddle you on your commute this week. It's a combination that I think you'll enjoy, whether you think you will or not. Give it a shot.
I've never heard Cocker, dude, so I'm gonna listen. Give him a listen. Rihanna needs to make some new music, but we'll give her, we listen to Rihanna a little bit around here. So
all right, it's a good mix with Joe Cocker. Joe Cocker, as my father famously once said, sings pretty well for a special needs guy, even though he is not special needs. And on that note, everybody have a great week. Mike, I love you. And I really hope
love you too. And happy Thanksgiving, man. Happy Thanksgiving to all. And if you don't celebrate Thanksgiving, happy holidays. Be around some family. Be around some real love, man. Not none of that fake love. Be around some people that you know love you. Show them some love back, man. This is that time of year where you should be around family, showing love. No anger, no animosity, no need for that. Just love, man. Be happy, everybody. And be excited about the fact you woke up today, and hopefully we all wake up tomorrow.
On that note,
that's on my soapbox. But I love you, man, and you have a wonderful rest of your evening.
Hey, you too. Happy Thanksgiving, buddy.
Happy Thanksgiving, buddy.